Hello, this is Julie Wright, and thank you for joining us to discuss the role of play in social-emotional development. The goals for today's session are to improve your practice. We'll learn what social-emotional skills are and how they develop. We'll learn to encourage all adults to join in the fun by engaging students in meaningful play, and we'll see the results as children play, learn, and practice positive interactions. We know knowledge is power. We'll talk about informing parents and other caregivers of the importance of play for social-emotional development, and we'll learn to work with administrators, school improvement personnel, and local policymakers to provide ample time and materials for all early childhood programs in and around the district. This is a quick video by the Mayo Clinic, why it's important for kids to play.
Young kids need to play. That's according to a new American Academy of Pediatrics report. Mayo Clinic's Dr. Angela Mackey agrees in the power and benefits of unstructured playtime.
We want them to be learning through play. Unstructured play is the best way that they can learn their developmental skills. They can learn social and emotional regulation. They can learn how to relate and problem solve with other children.
Dr. Mackey says good old-fashioned playtime not only helps children develop social skills, but it also helps with language skills and with stress relief. And in a world where screens are everywhere, Dr. Mackey says it's important to make sure to turn them off.
There's a lot of different areas that too much screen time can affect the health of children. So the first one would be sleep. We see it from young children all the way up to teenagers.
Too much screen time is associated with being sedentary, and moving is important for good health. Put down the screens and let the children play. For the Mayo Clinic News Network, I'm Vivian Williams.
Okay, thank you. So the Mayo Clinic summarizes for us that play is essential for developing skills in social-emotional regulation, problem-solving, language, and stress relief. But what is social-emotional development? Social-emotional learning is the process through which children and adults understand and manage emotions, set and achieve positive goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain positive relationships, and make responsible decisions. Let's listen to Dr. David Lichtenstein from the Bradley Hospital.
Social and emotional skills really are the skills and the set of attitudes that help children and thereby potential adults function in life. So they include things like self-awareness, social awareness, responsible decision-making, emotional awareness, awareness of others. They're a really broad collection of skills that we need in order to interact with the world, in order to be successful, whether it's in school, jobs, or in our personal lives as well. Children aren't born with these skills. They're born primed to learn them, but they aren't born with them. Most of these skills are taught over time, and so it may not be that the child is lacking them because of something wrong. It's just that they haven't had that opportunity or those teaching models yet. So those are times for us to attend to it and to think about what can we offer, or how can we help shape these interactions in a different way. These sets of skills are things that we can teach 2-year-olds. They're things that we can teach 14-year-olds as well. And it looks very different how you're going to teach a 2-year-old maybe to ask for help or to express their feelings in words. I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm mad. With a 14-year-old, maybe talking about budgeting responsibly or treating others out in the community well, or understanding more complex concepts like racism or media literacy or things like that. But these sets of skills apply really across the lifespan.
Thank you, Dr. Lichtenstein, for explaining to us these important life skills and how children acquire them. Now, that starts to show us why play is so important. Play is one of the most important ways in which children learn. Play is not the alternative to learning. Today's economy will depend on the education system to produce children who are able to problem solve and work in teams. There is a deeper understanding that play fosters that kind of learning. Now, this is Jill Violette, and she is the founder of a program called PlayWorks. She says that play is the way we teach the newest members of our community the social mores that make civil society function. In fact, our democracy depends on it. She goes on to point out that children need opportunities to establish positive social connections and develop a sense of belongingness. High-quality play and recess activities contribute to students' executive function, emotional self-control, resilience, and positive classroom behavior. So here's a big idea. Children learn better when they are actively engaged. Children who seem lost in play often evoke a sense of awe in adults. So if it's so awesome, why are we just watching? Let's play along. Learning happens in all kinds of play. Let's look at some examples of physical and pretend play. In this first clip, we'll see a child and teacher playing together. What learning can you observe here?
What number did you get? 1. Try it again. What number did you get now? 5. What? You're right there next to me. What number did I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, give it to me. Are you in back of me or in front? What? You're in front of me or in back of me? I am 14. You're in number 14. You have to. I have to jump 2 times? Yes. 1, 2, 3. Not 2. Oh, I'm sorry. 2. Okay. It's your turn now. What number did you? 5. What number are you on now? 19.
That was great. Not only did we see that this child was getting plenty of physical practice and development, but he's having a great time learning to take turns, share, communicate, and there was a lot of math going on there. Let's look at this one now. Listen carefully to the conversation between the teacher and child during this example of pretend play.
I like to drink tea too. It's nice and hot. It makes me feel warm on a cold day. Can I try it? Okay.
It takes a careful observer, a really skilled teacher to pay enough attention to what the child is focusing on, that's what they're talking about.
How nice and refreshing.
Then she takes what is happening and she expands everything that he says. He brings up drinking tea and she says the tea is delicious and warm.
There's more in here? Yes. Okay, would you like me to pour it or would you like to pour it? You pour it. Okay.
And in the course of a very short time, she's using a lot of different words with him, which is what we know is so important.
Wow, you filled it all the way up to the top.
Yes, she has done a fantastic job. She's been restating his sentences for him. She's offered him choices. She models good manners and cooperation. These are all important in the children's social development. It's important for us to advocate for our childhood programs. So if you want to spark change for your program, you need to get the word out. Let's share what we know. These are the people who need to know about and understand the work being done in early childhood learning centers so they can appreciate and support the program moving forward. So we're going to whisper down the lane. We're going to see parents, families, caregivers, administrators, school board members, early childhood coaches, members of the community, and policymakers, and we're going to pass on all this information until everyone knows that the foundational lessons learned through play are the building blocks for many human interactions. Childhood play predicts all manner of good outcomes later in life. Maybe playing touches us so deeply because it's something that many children and adults have too little time for. So let's talk about the ways we can motivate the people in each of these groups. First, families, parents, and other caregivers. We need to share the strategies with families so they can have ideas they can use at home. We're going to share the events of each day. We're going to offer them ideas for follow-up activities. We're going to explain how even the simplest game can help their child learn and grow. We know that the home and school connection is so important. Next, for the administrators, coaches, and school improvement personnel, we're going to make sure they know the emotional, social, and behavioral competence of young children is a strong predictor of academic performance in early elementary school. Whenever we see them, we're going to talk to them about that professionals like us, we need to know how to integrate social emotional learning with literacy, language, and other curricular areas. We'll need training on that and how to provide parents with information and support around parenting practices that prevent problems and effectively address challenging behavior. So in the center of the slide, there are a number of topics that are skills that can all be practiced and developed through play. I'll give you a minute to look those over. Early experiences with these skills provide a strong foundation for elementary school. Finally, it's very necessary to bring our message to the community and policymakers. Federal, state, and local governments and community agencies need to raise the visibility of the importance of social competence in school success. Policies need to reflect the importance of foundational skills learned through play to improve the quality of early care settings, support families, and provide social emotional education programs that prevent challenging behaviors and promote overall life skills. Let's take it to the Capitol. This short video clip focuses on an event organized by the 0 to 3 group to raise awareness on investing in early childhood programs. They got it rolling. Let's see how it looks.
Babies. They eat, they sleep, they cry, they do their diaper business, and that's about it, right? And that's about it, right? Wrong. Underneath the eating, the sleeping, the crying, and the many, many, many diapers, there's a lot going on. Their brains are forming over 1 million new neural connections every second. And these connections have an impact on how they learn and relate to others for the rest of their lives. Their brains won't wait, so we can't wait either. Now is the time to make sure that our public policies give babies what they need to thrive. That's why we're taking our message from the cribs to the capitals and telling policymakers to think babies. Our first Strolling Thunder was a huge success. We took our message to Washington, D.C. with hundreds of people, babies and families from all 50 states, and many, many, many diapers. But we've only just begun. We're making Think Babies a national movement, and we need you. Babies can't talk, but you can. So join us and tell policymakers it's time to think babies and to act. We'll bring it.
Wow, 1 million new neural connections every second. Those babies were learning through playing with beads, blocks, cars, and interacting with caregivers. With our efforts, that learning will continue through the preschool years and into elementary school. Finally, a quote from Dr. Seuss. Children want the same things we want: to laugh, to be challenged, to be entertained and delighted. They seem to know that the best way to get what they want is through play, and they learn every day. When did we forget how much fun it is to play? Thank you for being with me today. If you have any questions or would like to follow up on any of the topics we discussed, here is my contact information. I look forward to hearing from you.